who originally inspired you to get into content creation? Like, what made you start down this path?
When you say content, you mean like digitally?
Yeah, and, like, YouTube and, like, all that kinda stuff, like, what
Well,
inspired you to go down that path?
I think originally I knew the capability or the capacity YouTube had. So
Yeah,
I had begun just by myself posting 1 minute YouTube videos, right?
yeah.
And then like I didn't have storage on my phone, but it also didn't occur to me to pay for storage on my phone. So I was just like, dang, like these 1 minute videos, they're just not going to do it. So
Yeah.
a couple months ago, I just took a break and I began doing research. And I stumbled upon Kelly Stamps on YouTube.
Mhm.
And so I just like fumbled and was just like, oh my gosh, like these videos, they're quirky, they're fun, they're relatable. Um, but there's nothing too spectacular about her videos.
Yeah.
And I think that's what was so relatable. Like us being alive is spectacular, but like the
Mhm.
things that we do are pretty mundane. Uh,
Yeah.
but YouTube allows us to record ourselves and share the mundane with other people, so other people don't feel so they
Isolated?
they don't feel alone, right? Like,
Yeah.
oh, like there's someone else out there who's just like chilling like I am. So after I watched her videos, I said I can do this. So
Yeah.
I was like, okay, so what do I need to do? I need a new phone, right? So I was like, butt hurt. So I said, well, I'm not going to start until I get a new phone. But then
Yeah.
I thought, well, what can I do? Because I was helping my partner fly a kite, and I broke my this camera doesn't work.
Yeah.
I was like, dang, well, I can only film this way. And I said, well, honestly, that's all I need. So I paid for the terabytes
Mm.
and I just began recording. So I learned that I needed to increase my time, obviously. So the minimum you should be posting is like 10 minutes,
Yeah.
between 10 to an infinite amount of time. And so I began recording 10-minute videos about a month ago, or maybe it's been like 2 or 3 weeks. But to consistently post and then to post with increased engagement and with attention, I would
Mm.
say it was Kelly Stamps, because she just reminded me that I could do it and that I could use the things that I already had
Mm.
to create content online. And then I also started doing research and seeing what successful people were doing on Instagram. And
Mm.
I noticed a lot of them have a huge digital footprint. And what that means is basically that they're either on YouTube, they're actively using Instagram Live. Now, more recently, they're using Instagram Reels. And it's not to say that everyone has to do this, but
Mm.
if you want people to engage with you, you yourself have to engage with people.
Mm.
So I like talking. So I started joining other people's Instagram lives and going live
Mm.
myself to basically have organic, spontaneous conversations. And then I save those Instagram conversations and then I put them on my YouTube channel,
Mm.
because I was inspired again by Virgil Abloh, where he has conversations with people, whether it be through Zoom or Instagram, and then he shares them on his platform for full transparency. So if you're
Mm.
interested in design, you could then go to his page to see how he did it and like what tools he used. And so I was like, well, I want to do that. I'm not where I want to be yet, but I might as well bring people along with me for the ride so they can get to
Mm.
where I am now, and then it just keeps going.
Yes. What are your primary responsibilities as a content creator? Like what do you feel responsible for, like having this amount of like being able to talk to people, influence people, like what are your responsibilities in that like role?
I feel like my main responsibility is just to be myself.
Mm.
Like the biggest thing is just to ensure that I'm being myself and that I'm always willing and open to learning new things, and not like, and being able to put my pride aside and my ego aside to learn something new. Because I feel like a lot of my peers see the internet and can sometimes be intimidated by it and
Mm.
think if they didn't start yesterday, then they can't start today. And so for me, I was like, well, why can't I start today? I can start today. So that's my biggest thing, really, is just putting my pride aside and just remaining myself. Because you can stay on Instagram and TikTok and Twitter all day long and forget who you are and start comparing yourself and all these little things. But really, I mean, you should only be on there when you have something to say. If you don't have anything to say, it's time to get off. Like, go outside.
Yes. What's your background? How did it lead to like YouTube? Like, I know that you're in art school, and then...
Yeah, so I'm currently in school for fine arts, but before I got into school, I mean, I've been painting my whole life, but I didn't know that a career was possible in it until maybe like 2016. And I've been thinking, like, for a long time, my artwork was always in our home. But, you know, you go to school and no one encourages you to do art. They say, like, get a job so you can make money. But there was no one around me to tell me that I could technically work for myself and navigate the world that way. So in 2016, I began painting at different events. And just, I like to say I was going rogue. So I was really just kind of like, I don't know, doing everything probably not the way you're supposed to be doing. I was showing up, hey, can I show my artwork here? Can I live paint here? And live painting was really key for me networking because I was able to talk to people and it was a conversation starter. So if I wasn't feeling too social, because, you know, as an artist, sometimes I don't feel social.
Yes.
But it doesn't mean that I don't want to be social. So it's not to find the middle ground. So sometimes, you know, I'll do like quirky things, like wear my hair a certain way or wear certain pants or glasses or live painting to hopefully encourage other people to inquire with me. That way, sometimes I don't have to like go out.
Do the first step,
Yeah, you know, just doing like cool things that still align with like who I am. And so that really helped me. And then a couple of years ago, my partner was showing work at a gallery he was working at. And I met this woman. And her name is Lenise Howard, and she's a painter. And we just wound up talking, just like organic conversation. And up to that point, I was going on Google, learning how to write proposals and submit to galleries. And I was able to have solo shows just off the strength of just me showing up. And then I stopped because I didn't feel like I was being challenged and I didn't feel like I was learning anything, but I also didn't know where to go. And you should definitely check out, you know, art school. And I was just like, no, being super all pretentious, like, no, like, you know, I know what I want to do. But the more she kept talking, I said, you know what? I said, I'm going to go to SMC, a junior college nearby, Santa Monica College. And I said, I'm going to go sign up. And she was like, okay. And I said, okay. So I signed up for winter classes. And I had to take like 30 units or so, whatever is transferred. Because I had never taken an art class. I've never taken an art class in my life. And I went. And it was so fun. Like, I was learning so much. And I realized that art school, studying art at a university is what you make it. Yes, they have a curriculum. Yes, there are things you may not be too interested in. But at the end of the day, they're giving you the tools and the resources to pretty much just like test everything and to see how that applies to your practice. So you might as well be overexposed than under. Right. You know, it's like, oh, I don't want to, you know, I learned that I don't like working with wood necessarily.
Fair.
But I'm glad that I took the class because now I know that I may not be interested in other sculptures from wood, but I am interested in clay. I learned too that I'm interested in like performance art because before I only thought performance art was like one thing.
It was like dance,
Right, but performance art is really anything.
Yeah.
As long as you have an intention behind it and there's a
Yeah.
goal, then you can pretty much perform anything. So I have all these wonky ideas.
Like ideas, yeah.
So then I began learning that although my medium going into school was paint, I consider myself more of like an ideator and conceptualizer. So that's pretty much how I got into what I'm into now, and then bringing people along the journey, because I personally don't see anybody that looks like me, that is a Black woman who's young and who's not considered like emerging yet, whatever that means.
Yeah.
Still like on the way there.
Yeah.
On YouTube. And if they're out there, I have to keep looking, but I haven't seen it. So I told myself, I don't want to box myself in. And another thing too is sometimes you can begin recording yourself and you begin to commercialize yourself. So it's considered like commercial art or pop art, but I don't consider myself that type of artist. So I said, how do I maintain my
like true self, like identity
while not becoming like quote unquote mainstream.
Yeah.
You know, like I call them Hello Kitty artists, even though they're necessary. I don't consider myself a Hello Kitty artist.
Yeah.
So, but I wanted to, since I didn't see that, I said, well, why not just record myself? So
fill that space.
That's why I wound up just recording myself and sharing with others like what I do, and I'm still in the infantry stage, but I just feel like with consistency that it'll just keep growing and canonize itself.
Yes, and you don't have to commercialize yourself to be successful. I feel like you can still remain authentic and like have people be engaged.
Yeah, but the thing is like even with quote unquote art that I consider commercial or pop, just popular, I don't think some of them are even less authentic. They just found a niche area where their artwork thrives. But that just is not where my artwork, I feel like, will thrive, because that's just the type of work I create.
And then could you describe a typical work day or like a work week as like a content creator? Like, do you have like a schedule that you stick to, or is it kind of more like, I'm going to wake up and see what I'm going to do today?
No, I definitely have multiple journals.
Okay.
That I go through back and forth. Most of them, like I'll wake up and usually I try not to get on social media. So I started charging my phone away from my bed. I get up, tend to my cats, do some chores, and I begin, even if I don't leave the house, I still get dressed. I still get dressed, put on my lip gloss, put on my earrings, put on my clothes. So I feel more productive. I'm more likely to be productive if I get dressed for the day. And then now, since I'm recording and I'm not in school right now because of summer vacation, I try to record one video at least like every other day. Which is not bad because I'm working anyway. So really I'm just bringing the camera with me. And then after I record, I edit. And then after I edit, I immediately upload to YouTube. And I don't really care how long it takes. I'm just just hurry up. And then I publish it for like the weeks coming. When school begins, however, it'll just be record a video a week, maybe 1 to 2. But with school, it's just so much. So like one video a week, edit one video a week, publish one video a week. So each week I will have a video. To circumvent, say for example, I'm not able to record a video. I'm still going to be on Instagram, so I might join someone's Instagram live, or I might go live and have a conversation with someone. And that's content right there, and I'll put that on YouTube. So that's pretty much how it goes. I definitely need to become more organized, but as long as I have like the basics down, I tend to be like okay. Content goes. Trying to find content though for like Instagram is more difficult than YouTube. YouTube is straight to the point. You're posting a video, boom. Instagram has just so much stuff. It's so much more intricate, and since Instagram doesn't pay, I'm really not too stressed about it. Like,
yeah.
It's not like it's, I'm more or less like, oh, I'm working, so I may share, but I actively share memes in my story. Because that's also a part of my practice, doing video work and including memes.
Okay.
And observing the culture and like how it's shaping and shifting and innovating.
Yeah.
So in order to use pop culture, I have to be a part of pop culture.
Yeah. Ooh. What's the most satisfying or rewarding aspect of doing YouTube and being like a more like multifaceted creator?
Completing an upload. Like once I've completed it, I'm like, wow, I just like did all of that. It's not even like the views or the comments. It's really just like, wow, I did that, I'm done. And then it's like, okay, time to do it all over again. I will also say what's inspiring is ever since I decided, I started sharing with my friends to do it too and my family.
Yeah.
And just telling them like, hey, like this is what I did and I feel like this is for you. And it's just inspiring to see them do it too and get awesome feedback and people messaging me saying like, wow, like I didn't think it would be like this. Like, you know, I was telling you, one of my friends, she started getting sponsorships for Disney. And I'm just like, that's huge, right?
Yeah.
She did her first unboxing and I said, post it on YouTube too. So I don't feel like YouTube is like the only answer, but I will say YouTube is still in its infancy stage too. So you might as well hop on now because like we don't know what YouTube's gonna look like in the future, but we do know what it looks like right now. So you might as well hop on the wave. And if you go through, you'll see how long like people spending on YouTube, what they're learning from YouTube. There's always something for you to learn or to watch or to experience. So why not put yourself there too for other people to experience you and increase your digital footprint?
Yes. And then what's the most challenging aspect of doing it? Like what have you kind of struggled with the most?
Doing it by myself.
Not having a team.
I think that's pretty much it because, you know, like, because I'm actually working when I'm recording. So, you know, like right now I'm gessoing, so it's easy to give me gessoing because I'm not really in a zone. I'm literally just applying gesso. But once I begin painting, sometimes I forget to record because I'm vibing, you know. I think that's it. Like if I had somebody else to just record for me, that would be very nice. Because having to stop in between what I'm doing to get up and record kind of like makes me lose my flow sometimes. But I'm just gonna keep doing it until I can get someone to do it for me, like an assistant. Yes.
What predictions do you have for like the future of it? Like what do you like predict YouTube will look like in the next 10 years, 5 years? Or even content creation as a whole?
I think it'll always be changing. I don't think we're even like when I was growing up, the internet was like not what it is right now. Like we were still playing outside. Like we were not on the computer all day. It just wasn't a thing. Like people had like games and stuff, but like, really outside like all the time. And then we had YouTube, but you know, YouTube wasn't shaking how it is now. Like we had computers and stuff, but I was in school when we were still handwriting essays. So like it's just very different. So I think it'll just keep becoming bigger and bigger. So, and because it's becoming bigger and bigger and because it's still relatively new, the amount of digital money that you can make to monetize yourself so you can then be able to afford the life you want to live, whatever that looks like, whether it be painting. Some people only want to paint all day. So the luxury YouTube gives them to paint all day is like it. Like, oh, all I have to do is record myself. Okay. Like, you know what I mean? So I think it'll just keep growing and it will be up to you to decide if you want to invest like a stock. Like, are you going to invest now? Or are you going to try to hurry up and invest when you reach an abnormal number that doesn't make any sense, so then you can't even buy any shares, just equity?
Whew. Was there anyone who like helped you along the way, or any like classes or like specific assignments that like kind of led you down this path? Like,
for content creating specifically, not really. I mean, really it's just been intrinsic motivation, but there have been some videos that, I mean, like I mentioned before, Kelly Stamps, there's 2 videos that were extremely helpful to me to just like do it. Like just the full transparency of, okay, well, you have to commit at least 3 to 6 months, the consistency, not even what type of content, but just increasing the time. So 10 minutes, like I said, minimum. Just reaching how to reach certain thresholds in order to see a profit of return. Those have been pretty much the key things that have helped me specifically with creating for YouTube. Because I mean, I only have 42 subscribers, but when I first started, it was like 7, then it was 7, and then now it's 42. And yeah, I'm just really just excited to see, like, my first big goal will be 100 subscribers.
Yes.
Then it'll be 500 subscribers, and then keep going on from there. And then I'll revisit like my watch hours. Like right now, I think my watch hours are at 6.2 hours, but I need 4,000 to be monetized. But I don't think these things are attainable. It's just planning. So sometimes people think things are not possible, but with the correct type of planning, you can really do anything.
And then, so there was an article published in 2015 that said YouTube like changed the world. Do you agree or disagree?
What was I doing in 2015? I was watching YouTube. Like, YouTube just was not what it is. Like, you gotta understand, like, when we were on YouTube watching like funny stuff. Like,
yeah,
you know, like we weren't like, people were not creating like businesses per se.
Yeah.
Unless they were like seeing the future and were like, no, I need to hop on this. I would say it changed. YouTube is infinite. It's like an infinite pool of just like resources. And there are people who are younger than me retiring, buying homes, buying cars, or being able to afford to do exactly what they want to do. And it could be anything from traveling to eating to creating to writing to literally anything. I just seen a page the other day, and this guy was putting toy cars on a treadmill and then doing a voiceover for the cars. Like, you know, we have this car, it's in your head, but it's just transformed it. It opens your eyes to share with people. You can do anything, like quite literally. You can do anything and share it, and there will be an audience for it. I have never heard anyone say like YouTube is too saturated. It's not, because I still don't find videos sometimes that I exactly need. You know, I have to watch a couple videos to decide, you know, like if you have to watch 4 or 5 videos to get one result, then it's still missing something. So you can fill in that blank.
And then what sets YouTube apart from other social media platforms?
Because YouTube actually pays you after you reach like specific thresholds.
Yeah.
TikTok does now too. I was just reading that they have like a TikTok fund. So, I mean, YouTube isn't paying you, it's Google. Actually, Google is paying you to place ads on your videos, like your own channel, like television. And then you get paid. Whereas like Twitter doesn't pay you.
Yeah.
Instagram literally doesn't pay you, but there will be people or companies that pay you to post because you're posting something specific, like a or a paid partnership. That's why they start doing paid partnerships. Now, in that sense, it's cool, you know, but knowing that YouTube is definitely gonna pay you.
Yeah.
You hit those thresholds, and I think TikTok too now, but don't quote me. I was just reading a really good article about it, but like YouTube definitely pays. Instagram does not definitely pay you. Like, I know people who have thousands of followers who are not getting paid. They just have thousands of followers. So you know, I'd rather go somewhere, because it's also not just about the money. What a luxury it is to just be at home or to do what you were already going to do and get paid to do it.
Yes.
So, yeah.
And then do you have any like final words of advice or like anything you'd like to like add or say?
My first art professor told me to remain intellectually promiscuous.
Okay.
So I've applied that to my practice, to always ask questions. If you don't know, like, you can either continue to not know or ask the question, to not be afraid to be loud, to have fun. You need to calculate in failures and not just think it's going to be like smooth sailing, because that will literally set you up for failure. And to just like keep going and just be consistent and do your planning. It's not going to be like simple, but I find that if you're consistent and you're planning and you set goals and you believe in those goals, they're attainable. It's like, I'm in school. I don't even know how I'm here, to be honest. I'm not paying for it. I have no, not that I don't have any idea, but it's just, you know, if I applied to school, my intention was to attend and to graduate, not to attend and then like, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do now after the first semester. No, like, that's my goal. And I think sometimes there's a huge hiccup that happens and they're not understanding how they should maneuver. But you should just be asking questions. Everybody, anybody, ask questions. What do you need to do in order to maintain where you are? And when people see that, they're more apt to assist you. No one's going to assist you if they don't see you showing up for yourself. But if you show up for yourself pretty strongly and with conviction, other people will definitely show up for you. That's what I found to be true.
Ooh. You gave me literally anything I could need to write this paper. Thank you.